This single indicator right here is going to change your life for the better. Why do I say so? I'll show you just in a bit, but mainly because it has got 2 sections to it, right? So I'm going to divide this video into two, right? We've got the entry part and the market direction part, right? So it's actually the best indicator that I've seen so far, and I promise you that it's going to change your life. Just stick with me till the end and you see exactly how it works, right? So I'm going to divide this video into two parts, right? Because this indicator has got 2 sections that you can use, right? You can choose either use just one section or use them both, or just any section that you want to use, right? So I'm going to divide this video into two. Firstly, I'm going to show you how to set up all these indicators, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to enter, right? So the entry part, we're going to be for the entry part, we're going to be using this green and red right over here, right? And then to see if the market is consolidating or not, we're going to using the blue line over there, right? So I'm going to show you just how you set that up, right? So the indicator that we're actually using is the ADX, right? The average directional movement index, right? As you can see over here, right? So as you can see, it's just one indicator. There's no other indicator, right? So let me just firstly, I'm going to show you for the consolidation to see if the market is consolidating or not, right? So if we're for the consolidation, we're going to be using this line only, right? That's what we are going to be using only, right? So in order for us to see clearly, I'm going to be dividing I'm going to be removing this green, right? So I'm just going to put them the color of my background so that you'll be able to understand. I want to divide it so that you'll be able to understand, to see it clearly, right? Each section clearly, right? So I've removed the red and the green that we're going to be using for our entries. I'm going to show you later how we are going to be using that for our entries, but I want to first show you how to see if the market is consolidating. And if the market is consolidating, generally I don't like to enter, right? I don't like to enter when the market is consolidating, and I think that most of you don't even want that also, right? So how are we going to be doing this, right? So if the market is actually trending, as in it's a strong trend, right? You're going to see that the blue line is going to be above the level 25 over here, right? As you can see, like over here, right? This section here, when the market was truly in a downtrend, right? The ADX was above the level 25 over there, right? So that's how you can see how if the market is truly trending, right? And see that there is the market is now pulling back, right? Is about to pull back or is pulling back, right? As you can see right over here, the ADX was pointing up, right? And as you can see, when it started to shift point downwards, right? As you can see, that's when it started consolidating, right? And later went for a reversal, right? So when you see that the ADX was pointing up and then starts pointing downwards, right? Especially if it's above what is very high over here, right? You anticipate a small pullback or a complete reversal, right? So that's how you're going to be using this ADX, right? And as you can see over here, right, when the ADX right over here was just hovering around level 25 over here, as you can see in the market, we're also consolidating, right? So this is when you avoid taking your entries when the ADX is below the level 25, right? But if it's above the level 25, either up or downward, right, you can take your entries, right? So that's how you use this indicator trend, the current market trend, right? I just going to check if there's another example, right? So let me zoom out a little bit, right? And as you can see over here, right, the market wasn't over here, was just hovering around level 25. There was no it was the ADX wasn't moving in a straight line like I was showing you over there. And as you can see, the market is also moving in an ugly pattern, right? And also over here, right, it's hovering around the level 25. And as you can see, the market is also consolidating, right? Here when it was pointing straight up, you can see that the trend was actually going very strong. But let me just switch over here a little bit, right? As you can see, as I was saying, right, firstly straight up, and that's the straight up trade, right? And when it started pointing downwards a little bit, you can anticipate a small consolidation, a small reversal, or a complete reversal. But as you can see, this was just showing a small reversal over here, small consolidation line. And when it's pointed straight up again, as you can see, the market shot up completely, right? After shooting up completely, right over here, there's what, when it went back to the what, below the level 25, the market was consolidating, right? So this is actually a powerful indicator on its own. You can actually use it just to see the consolidations only, right? So now for our entries, how do we enter and when do we enter, right? I'm going to be adding what, though I'm going to be removing this one line, this now, right? And I'm going to be adding what, the plus di and the negative di. That's the green and the red. For the plus di, I'm actually using what, green, because the plus represents so like an uptrend, right? And then the negative represents a downtrend. So I'm just using this color code so that it's easier for you to see, right? And I removed the blue line so that you can see each section clearly. You can pick one if you want to use the entries only, or if you want to use the consolidation only, or if you want to use them both. I'm going to show you exactly how you do that later after I show you how to enter, right? Then I will click what, you click done, right? After clicking done, as you can see right over here, there's no blue line over here, right? So how do you know that the market is now going for an uptrend or for a downtrend, right? So okay, so basically, if the green line is above the red line, it's an uptrend, right? And the vice versa is also true. Let me see if there's a small example over here, right? Like over here, when the red line is above the green line, it's a downtrend, right? And I also forgot to mention that this strategy, you can use it on any time frame, 5 minutes or 1 minute, the H1, but I don't encourage that you use the entries on on the H1, because they are quite slow, right? For your entries, I encourage that you use the 5 minute time frame and the 50-minute time frame only, right? That's what I personally use most of the times, right? If you are using the H1, it's just forward, so like to see the market direction, right? So when do you enter, right? So you enter when the green and the red cross, right, over here, right? When the green crosses over the red, it signifies that it's now going up, right? Though it doesn't work all the time, but we're going to be, you can also use that blue line that I removed, right, in order to see that if the market is trending or not, in order for you to take the trend, because if it's consolidating, the red and the green will just keep on you just keep on crossing over and over again, right? But if it's truly trending, you will be able to enter exactly when with the trend, move with the trend, right? So right here you enter when the green and the red cross, right? So right here the green cross is going upward, so you enter for for your buys, right? So as you can see, it's crossed some over here, so that's when you'll be taking your buy trade, and you hold, right? And you hold, and party you enter some over here, right? You hold, starts consolidating, right? And right here when the red crosses over here, you exit, right? So as you can see, you are quite in profit. You are quite in some good profit, right? Over here when it crosses again for a sale, you can also enter, right? Over here when it crosses again for your sale entry, right? You can enter, right, and close somewhere over here when the green crosses over again, right? But as you can see, it eventually continued even going down further, right? So in order for you to filter your trades, that's when you'll be using the blue line on the ADX that I removed earlier, right? But of course, you're going to be incorporating this with some price action, right? So this is just a further confirmation for your for your price action after you've analyzed your charts and done everything else, right? So that's how you use this strategy, right? And for the blue line, I'd also forget, right? As you can see over here, oh, this was a sweet one, right? Right over here, it crossed over here, it's somewhere around over here, right? And this, you hold that trade, you swing it. Oh, it was a lovely trade, right? So that's the examples, right? And I had also forgotten, right? For your consolidating for that blue line, right? Let me shift back to white, right? That's when you are going to be using the level 25, right? So if the level 25, I had mentioned it, but I didn't show you how to add that level 25. You go to levels, right, and you put level 25, just label it consolidating, or even just remove the consolidating, right, and just leave it as a single line, right? so that it doesn't confuse you, right? But if it confuses you, you can use what? You can write consolidation, right? So as you can see right over here, the market was what? Is what? Trending, right? That's why it's above the what? That's why the ADX is above the level 25, right? So right here, let me input what? The green and what? The red again, so that we'll be able to what? To see how it actually plays out, right? So right over here, I usually put 2 pixels on the blue line and 1 pixel here, then click done, right? So as you can see over here, this is now an actual example how you what, how you take the trade, right? So right over here, firstly we will be ignoring what, all these crossovers here. Why? Because the ADX, the blue line, is below the level what, level 25, right? So I'm neglecting all those what, all those other trades, right? But right here, let me zoom in a bit, right? Right here, when the what, when the green and the red cross, the ADX is still below the level 25, right? But as soon as it crosses the level 25 over here, right? So this is about what, somewhere over here, I take my trade, right? Because I know that the market is now what, in a strong what, uptrend, right? So that's how you enter, right? And I held that what, I held that trade even what, even further, right? Same as this example over here, right? So firstly, you don't look what, you don't enter. Why? Because the ADX, the blue line, is below the level 25 over here, right? But as soon as it crosses the level 25 over here, which is somewhere around over here, right? I take that trade, and as you can see, it usually goes what, into profit, right? So there are losses, right? Of course, each and every strategy has its own what, has its own losses, right? But the best part of this is you cut your losses faster, right? Why? Because you're going to, let's say you took what, you took this trade, right? The green and the red cross, but you don't enter yet. Why? Because the ADX is below the what, level 25, right? And over here, when it crosses again for the what, for in the buy for the level 25, that's when you take your entry, right? So that's somewhere around over here, right? That's when you take what, your entry. And as you can see, the market pulls back, right? So you exit again when the what, when the red and the green cross over here, which is somewhere around here, right? So this is actually around the same point that you entered, right? So you'll be cutting your losses, but when you make profit, you will make what, significant profits, right? Because the main aim of trading is to cut your losses short and hold your profits, so that you'll be able to what, to make more profit. So that's it for this video, guys. If you got any suggestions, if you've got any comments, leave them in the comment section below. Any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll address them as soon as I can, right? And that's what I got for you in this video, right? If you've got any suggestions, leave them in the comment section down below also, right?